Hello and welcome to We Got a Podcast, a podcast about Dragon Ball from A to Z, from Earth to Namek to Sadala. We cover it all. My name is Randy.
And I'm Super Saiyan 4 or 5 or whatever, Doug.
And I'm just Ken. I didn't think to do anything. But also maybe I was referencing the Barbie movie.
I win this time. Oh.
Could be anything. We're the world's strongest under the heavens, trio de dangers here every other week to talk your ear off about fights, goofs, and everything else in the Dragon Ball cosmos. Douglas, how you doing, man?
Hey, buddy. I'm doing great, man. I am wearing a new apparel, as you guys in the video chat can see. I don't know who these characters are, but they look pretty cool. They look pretty dope. I got it for my mom got it for me for Christmas. So
I'm gonna paint a picture salad here for people. All right, it looks like Young Gigi's style, but it is all of the main what I would say the main 5 Dragon Ball characters at the moment. So Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, and Broly, all in their bespoke forms. So that's Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, Beast, Orange, and Full Power.
I'm a big Super fan.
Yeah, big fan. And manga content, too. It's the only place you can find Ultra Ego Vegeta.
I know all about that.
Yeah,
Quiz
Doug,
me anytime, any day.
Doug, tell us all about Ultra Ego. What unlocks
Randy,
it?
how you doing, Randy?
Jumping to me. Normally we go to Ken. Ken, you tell me what you're doing.
I need Ken to shut up.
I beat this morning. I beat Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, this morning.
This morning.
Credits rolled.
And then I sat there waiting for a post-credits scene because it just it ends. Mm-hmm. I don't want to speak, but the game just is like any kind of modern game would have gone like another hour.
Yeah,
showing you what happens to everyone. This is just like, oh, hey, you saved the world, done. Credits.
Yep, it really shows you. Well, no, isn't there a little cutscene at the end?
Well, okay, yeah, 500 years later, but
yeah.
That's kind of very important for these new games.
So then I turned around and I watched Advent Children complete.
Yes.
I have never seen the complete version, and to be honest, I prefer the original cut. I don't care about all this new stuff with Denzel or whatever. Like, who cares?
But
Dumb
yeah,
kid.
me neither. But Zach,
there's a little bit of that. Anyways, this is my first time seeing this movie with context, and I've seen it several times.
Yeah,
but this is like watching a whole new movie. Knowing where they were,
for sure,
what they were referencing and everything. I loved it. Review on Final Fantasy VII. It's an uneven but great game. I had to use a guide for the entire thing. That's just how games of that era were. People complain about games over tutorializing these days, but it's like, yo, you remember how games used to be?
Yeah, they just threw you on a map and okay, go. Where?
And then I have 3 episodes left of Sorcery Fight. I've just been blowing through that show.
Nice. Jujutsu Kaisen for everyone else that's normal out there.
So I may actually finish that after we were finished recording today. Just wrap up.
I tried watching Jujutsu Kaisen over the break, and I don't get it. The fights look cool, but it was just too much for me to absorb. Why are we all here? Too many fingers.
Yeah, you do start to lose track of how many fingers he's eaten, and then
it got to be a lot. But I'm gonna try and get back into it. I'm right in the middle of the Shibuya incident.
Yeah. I'm wrapping up Shibuya. Yeah, Randy,
nice.
I'm doing good. I had a nice break. I started back to work today, which of course sucks. But
yeah.
It went all right. What did I do? I did that Final Fantasy 16 DLC. And that was short. That was fine. And then Andrew had said, well, I mean, we got Spider-Man 2. Maybe you should give that a try while you're on break since, you're here where the PlayStation is. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. And then I started it. And then I platinumed it in 4 days.
That tracks. It's a nice, easy game to platinum.
It is. I mean, I was just doing the story and doing all the side quests. And afterwards, I had 4 things to do to get the platinum. Right. They were all very simple things. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll go do that. And then
knock it out.
Yeah, I liked it. Very, very good. Very fun. I love being in that world. Love these characters.
Just love swinging.
Love swinging. Gosh, if there's anything you could take away from this, Randy loves swinging.
Yeah. Do you have the carpet to match? What is it? Shag carpeting?
What?
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
Because that's a Spider-Man thing, Doug. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
We'll catch you up.
I'm more of a Madam Web fan.
Yikes! Good luck with that movie.
But yeah, like if you have a PlayStation 5 and you like I don't know, fun, I would say.
And you're still under that
2.
rock that haven't played that game yet.
Right.
Welcome to
It's like the reason to own a PS5. Really?
Yeah, dude. I am not paying $70 for that.
Well,
that's true.
I got it as a discount because our roommate got a PS5 and it came with Spider-Man 2, but she was not interested. So we're like, what if we just give you like 50 and you just give us the code? And she's like, okay. So a little bit of a discount, but you know.
Speaking of discounts, I got the Ginyu Force SH Figure Arts at a good deal recently. Just got them in the mail. I'm in love, man. Those are the holy grail of figures for me. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally have them. It's definitely used, but the figures themselves are like the boxes are a little beaten up, a little, but still well worth it. I paid like 25% of what everyone else would have paid.
Whoa.
So yeah.
So you're done. You don't need any more figures. You got your holy grail. You're done.
Are you kidding me? 2024 is the year of figures. I'm not wasting money anymore.
What was 2023, Douglas?
I'm not wasting money on like food and gas and rent. Fuck that. I'm going figure hard this year.
This is going to be a big year. I mean, already, so we've got Android 20 coming out like next week.
Whoa, big guy.
Cyborg Frieza. Hey, Randy, we live for the Z-list characters in this house, okay?
We do. We really do.
We got Cyborg Frieza. We got Kui.
Helmet and a helmet. We got Kui coming. Yep.
We got 100% full power Frieza.
Big buff Frieza to go with the big buff Goku. I still gotta get that big buff Goku.
I just got Purunga. I opened him up. Video viewers will see he's back over here.
Whoa.
Any picture you have seen of this Purunga figure will not prepare you for how enormous he is.
For real, Randy. Yeah.
The box came in. The box is bigger than my dog.
Yep. That's a great picture of you with the dog with the box. It's like the size is like mind blowing.
Yeah. But even then, looking at that picture, you don't understand how big this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I got him. So in my heart of hearts, I said, I'm not paying. Randy, I'm sorry. I'm stepping all over your
That's okay.
segment.
You were so adamant.
I said, I'm not paying a penny over $200 for this thing. And then they announced him at $300. And I was Christmas Day. I was watching Prestige, with my wife's family. They'd never seen it before. Great movie. We were watching it. And I go on my phone and I look through my list on Amazon just to see, because sometimes stuff goes on sale. And I'm like, $200 Purunga sold by Amazon, ships by Amazon. I went over to my wife.
Done deal.
I said, hey, remember that Purunga? Remember how I said $200?
It's there.
Yeah, I got him.
It was like $198 or something, wasn't it?
$190. Yeah, I'm $200.
Damn.
Right.
I could have gotten you one for $75, but
well, next time. Next Purunga. When they do shiny Purunga, we'll get.
I would have had to pay $500 to then get. But yeah, it's a whole thing that you would have saved money.
Randy, what else
would have saved money?
What else have you been doing?
I have one other thing. Since we're showing off, doing show and tell with our new toys, I was thinking about a thing I used to have in high school, and I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool if I could find that again and just buy it. So I tracked down a copy of How to Draw Manga, Power Up Manga Techniques for Beginners, Volume 1, Compiling Characters. It's it's pretty good. Teaching you how to draw hands and feet, as we all know, very important.
Don't show anything I'm going to have to censor, because you told me this is a pretty horny book.
I wouldn't say
Can you show it again real quick? I'm close.
I'm coming!
But it's not a horny book. It's just there are hornier parts than expected. Anyway,
you make them horny. That's not.
I don't. There's like... Oh, what if this dude goes and like grabs this lady from behind? Ooh, isn't that fun? So I'm like, no, it's not actually. Yeah. So I was going through it and I'm like, I'm just drawing some stuff and I'm sending photos to friends. I'm like, hey, you remember this? Whatever. It's like, oh, so cool. And a friend of mine gets back to me 2 days later and she said, you sent me that. And I was like, yeah, that book does look familiar. So I went into my basement and I was going through boxes that I haven't unpacked yet. And I have your copy. You lent it to me 14 years ago.
The same one?
The same one.
The same you...
She's like, let me send you a gift card for the amount that you paid to replace that because, oops, I have it.
Hilarious. You kind of pulled a Mike there on his first eBay purchase where he had to rebuy his Dragon Ball Z disc that he thought he lost.
So, I mean, it was just fun. It's a cool book. And I don't know. I haven't been drawing a lot lately, so it's like, if I just go through and draw what's in this book, maybe it'll be a little fun little exercise. And it's
Raina's going to be a mangaka in a few months.
And it's very 90s style anime, which is kind of my speed.
That's a good style.
Right? Characters look different than each other. Isn't
I feel like
wild?
anyone who like had interest in drawing had to come across that book once in their youth, you know?
Yeah.
It was either
Absolutely.
that or the one by like John Johnson or whatever. The whitest guy on earth made a how to draw manga book.
This one was actually is translated, so it was a Japanese
German.
how to draw.
From German.
What was that?
It's translated from German. The original German.
Oh yeah, of course. And Jesus, this is the 8th printing. They went through a lot for that. Granted, 8th printing 2001.
That's not bad from the 90s or whatever.
Right, exactly. But that's enough show and tell, I think, guys. Are you ready to jump in to what we've all gathered here
for?
for?
Yeah, we're here for a certain reason, as always.
Right, of course.
For a certain reason, for the third to last time.
Whoa. The penultimate episode of the Dragon Ball GT.
I think I'll miss it. Nah.
No. The Dragon Ball GT retrospective of Auspiciosity. That's right. We are continuing to talk about Dragon Ball GT, and we're going to be doing episodes 52 to 56 this time. But hey, if you jumped in and you're like, what happened before? We got you covered. After a hectic year dealing with a multitude of machine mutants, 7 evil dragons have emerged from the negative energy that has been building up in the Dragon Balls. Goku, Pan, just the two of them, Goku and Pan is what I should say. Goku and Pan have left on a journey to defeat the evil dragons and restore the Dragon Balls. With 3 balls back to normal, what challenges await our heroes next? So, like I said, we're doing 52 to 56. These aired July 9th, 97 to August 20th, 97. We did 5 whole episodes this time. What did we think about that?
I have notes.
Whoa. Earth-shattering news. Doug took notes.
I sometimes have notes. It's, when something is so bad, I have to get my phone and like whip out, start writing stuff down. Like I gotta mention this shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think
so safe to say my overall thoughts. It's bad.
Wow. I'm pretty up on these episodes actually.
You're up.
Yeah, I'm. Just like last episode where I was shocked by how much I liked Yi Xing Long.
What number is that?
That was the 2-star dragon.
What does it look like?
And
green.
Yeah. Oh, the spiky shoulder man.
The Haze dragon. Yeah. This one, I was shocked by how much I liked Yi Xing Long, the mole.
Yes.
And I thought the brothers were interesting. I was actually most kind of like tickled by the recap episode. Well, for reasons we'll get to that later. I'm pretty up on these. I'm not. There's some stuff I didn't like how they wrapped up the Yi Xing Long episode. I didn't care so much for, but no, yeah, I like these. I'm up on them. Randy?
Okay.
I felt I was kind of not really paying attention, I'll be honest, while watching a good chunk of these. There's some stuff that I like, some stuff that I didn't.
I don't give a fuck anymore.
What if we just stopped? What if we just didn't do this anymore?
I can tell you right now, I'm feeling burnt out on GT. I'm ready to be done with it. And I was thinking yesterday that if I felt the way I felt now and we were still in the Black Star Dragon Balls part, I'd be like, guys, we're pulling the plug on GT. But we're so close to being done with it. We just got to barrel through.
General consensus.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, there's some entertainment to be had here, but I think that, it's just been a lot and I'm excited for it to be over and see what new things exist out there past these 64 episodes. So, well, that sounds good. Sounds like we've got some varying opinions, and now we can jump into it episode by episode. Ken, why don't you tell us what's going on? Episode 52. What is it, and what happens?
Look out, Pan. Yi Xing Long's backup plan. The 7-star dragon appears before Goku and Pan, but the mole-like dragon has no desire to fight the duo and would rather just make earthquakes and destroy stuff. After harassing the dastardly dirt digger, the dragon attacks a local city before finally confronting the 2 Saiyans who just ruined his day by saving the town from devastation. During the tussle, the dragon destroys himself, yielding his Dragon Ball to Pan. But when she goes to grab it, it sucks her in and absorbs her. What has happened to Pan? Dragon?
Yeah, man.
Dragon?
Right?
Really? Thing's a dragon? We're really stretching that.
We're really loose with the designs for
Yeah.
what constitutes a dragon. I don't know. We just had a hot lady last time. Is that a dragon? I mean,
She
I
can
guess
be
when she's
whatever she
not.
wants.
She's a lady dragon. Yeah.
Slay queen. All right.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
She got a tail, dragon. This mole guy, it's too much of a mole.
Yeah.
Not hot enough.
Not hot enough.
When he becomes super Yi Xing Long, I'm like, okay, dragon, I buy it. For some reason,
Kind of.
Yeah.
absorbing Pawn made you more dragon-like.
That's
But still mole-like. Still very much a mole.
Yeah, but why is he a mole? Why is he a mole that absorbed a mole that's like, I only look like a mole because I absorbed a mole? It's like, I'm actually am a mole. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not correct. It's
Do
not
people
what we should
listening
do here.
know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker looks like a mole, and then once he's defeated, quote unquote, it turns out he only looked like a mole because he absorbed an actual mole.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end of everything, after he reverts back to his original form, it's a mole again. So Be a dragon.
Something I caught on to in this episode, and it's probably something I'm going to need to talk to Mike about for like wiki purposes. So Yi Xing Long refers to his Yi Xing Long as his name, namae, not a title. So really, when we're thinking about these guys, we don't want to like. Is it easier to call someone to be like, your name is 7-star dragon? What feels more natural, to say that or to say your name is Yi Xing Long?
Oh.
Right. So like Yi Xing Long, the
Oh.
7-star dragon. That would be his title, and his name would be Yi Xing Long.
Which
The way
means
these episodes kind of play out, it feels like they call each other 7-star ball type stuff, you know?
That would be Yi Xing Chu.
I wish they did have names. You know, I think, hate to say it, Funimation giving them names like Hayes, Shenron. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe an
Kind of
actual
a
name
remove.
is good.
Yeah. Because I think when Goku came to this guy, he was confused, like, how do you know my name? It's like, it's the number of your ball in your head. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty easy. You're like the fifth one, or I guess this is the fourth one we're dealing with.
But I want to pop off immediately with how this episode starts off, with how mean they are consistently to Giru, just incessantly bullying the crap out of him. They ask Giru, like, hey, where's the ball? He's like, it's right here. He points down. They dig 2 inches. And like, Giru, there's no dragon here, you stupid fuck. Where's the dragon? You're no good piece of shit, and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And then 5 seconds later, they hear the dragon, the mole dragon.
I thought we had a certain amount of resolution between Pan and Giru at the end of the baby arc.
It's just all
It's
gone.
all gone, yeah.
Pan is just unbearable again.
We got to pad out the episode, 90 seconds worth. What do we do? Have him harass the robot. That sounds like a thing that they should do.
It's so hilarious.
I like the dragon. They go to fight the dragon. The dragon's like, nah. Just,
I'm not interested in a
Yeah.
fight.
Keeps going. And Goku's like, I
Which
can't fight a
also-
guy who doesn't want to fight me.
Which also makes you realize how bad this series is in a sense where, like, why are they attacking these creatures that don't want to be attacked in the first place? It seems so uncharacteristic of who these characters are.
Well, they have
Goku,
to.
Yeah.
sure wants to fight, but
They have
it isn't until the mole starts heading towards the city that it's like, oh, okay, now you got to stop him. But before, he's just living his life. He just says, I want to dig. I want to dig. Let the guy dig.
Well, he says that he wants to create earthquakes and destroy stuff. So, like, well, destroying the stuff is not great. So
Yeah, keep
someone's
an eye
probably
on
gonna
him,
get hurt.
or do the Mr. Satan approach. Hey, why are you doing this? Don't do this. They don't talk to him. They're just like, you're evil because I said so, and I need to kill you. Or like, give me your Dragon Ball, which is like killing them. So there's no communication or anything. That's why they didn't bring Trunks. Trunks would have been the reasonable one here and thought of a diplomatic way
True.
to handle it all.
I like the callback to the oob insult stuff
Yes.
from the end of Z. Just like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it's
that
good
happened.
when
Yelling at him.
Yeah.
It worked
Yeah.
on Oob.
Remembering stuff that happened in the past, I don't know. It's got a nice flavor to it where we remember, oh, there was stuff that happened before this, and there's
Not when it's used so haphazardly, where it's just like someone in the exec room just patted themselves on the back, like, yeah, we're going to put this in there, and people
Well,
remember that.
It was now 2 writers.
It's
for
just
the
2
entire
writers?
arc.
Oh my god.
So Maikawa and like Oito, I think, or something. I don't know who did this specific episode though, but Randy, I wrote down Randy music moment.
Oh, well, unfortunately, I only have one music moment to share, and it is not this episode. It is the last one.
Okay.
I'm talking
What's the
about.
one you're thinking of then?
The other one. Yeah. I don't know. I was hoping Randy would have caught it and put a soundbite in. I watched this episode days ago, dude.
I watched it yesterday, and I was kind of checked out while I was watching. I'm like, yeah, I'll try and pay attention, but my brain is in other places.
Okay.
I was the last day of my vacation, so I had a case of the Sundays, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So loyal
You don't want to do
listeners,
anything unfun.
if you watched episode 52 and you thought that there was going to be a Randy music moment, leave a comment below. Let us know when it happened. And then send us a YouTube link to where we need to go.
Do all this work for us.
Yeah, do the work. Yeah.
You know what song I hate the most from this whole GT series is that like there's danger afoot. So it's like you know what I'm talking about? Like it's so it's lost its buzz so much that it just feels cringy to hear it.
There have been a lot of new tracks in these episodes.
Yeah.
Some used in strange places, like which might be Randy's music moment in the last episode.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. So look forward to that.
But it's like they extended their catalog from 5 songs to 7 songs, and you can still hear the repeating way too often, and it's just so bad.
Go ahead.
There was a point in these episodes where I stopped keeping track of what was written on buildings, because I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give it to Zenpai. If he wants to do it, he can have it.
Yeah.
But in this one, I couldn't help but notice the globe said Tamagotchi on it.
Yeah.
Did it
that's
really?
the one
like
I caught
Tamagotchi?
too.
Or it said like Tamagot, but
Tamagotchi or something like that. But
yeah.
Oh, wasn't one of the buildings like it had that famous sphere in the middle of the buildings? Like that's like, isn't that the Toei building or something that gets destroyed?
I don't know about that, but I know later on we're straight up in New York City.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Which is strange.
Yeah.
But you know the building I'm talking about that has like a sphere in the middle. I remember it being in Digimon too, so I feel like it's definitely like is Digimon done by Toei?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's definitely like just the Toei building that they destroy often. Just as a little Easter egg, I guess, in these series.
Maybe that was the Tamagotchi one. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think it had a name on it. No. But what was funny and stupid to me was Goku transforming from his kid form to Super Saiyan 4 to push a building back into place after the earthquake starts happening in the city.
Yeah.
You liked it? First of all, how is he pushing? That's the strongest glass in the world, to be able to push glass on a building and then push it back into position. I think too seriously with this series.
I think you are.
I must be looking for stuff to hate.
It's a Superman moment.
Yeah.
it just ruins me because he transforms like in 1 second, and then the next episode he has to do it all dramatically and takes him like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? It's that kind of stuff. Like, where's the consistency in all this?
So
I liked that Goku saves a bus full of orphans that are being watched by Kiryu.
They're elementary school kids, not orphans.
being watched by Kiryu?
Yeah, because it's on the bus says Himawari, and that's the name of his orphanage. Am I correct?
Oh,
isn't that also the name of Boruto's little sister?
Yes. But it means sunflower, I believe.
Sunflower, yeah. Dude, I just started Yakuza 0 for the first time yesterday.
Hey!
So yeah, I'm going to try and beat that this time.
Welcome to We Got a Kamurocho. All right, we're going to be talking about Yakuza 0 here. No. When I write my notes, I need to start being more detailed. Like, you can tell I'm being burnt out because this is the note. This is all that the note says. Sir, a second mole has hit the tower. And I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well,
You're trying to make jokes to entertain yourself.
Yeah, I also just watched Shin Godzilla the other day, and it reminds me of that, where like a monster comes into the city, and then the government there figures shit out. But there's none of that in this small city of Dragon Ball GT, and it's just like the contrast between the two is so stark.
So when Yi Xing Long explains that he's from the Wish to bring back everyone killed by Vegeta at the tournament, Pon is present for this. And I was really hoping Pon was going to be like, he did what?
What?
That would have been great.
That would have been good, you know?
Is Pan present for that? I feel like she wasn't. Or I'm thinking of the other dragon. I'm thinking of the 4-star, probably.
Yeah, she's present when he's explaining, what his wish was.
That's another thing. I think it's my note. Yeah. Pan keeps asking the dragons, which wish did they come from, as if she'll remember it. She was never there for any of these. She keeps, which one are you from?
You have to assume that a lot of this stuff Gohan probably told her about. Like, just sitting her down, being like, oh, here's all the cool adventures we went on. You know, here's why you shouldn't have 31 boyfriends by the age of 9. You know, trying to, like, really set her on the right path. And so in doing that, he leaves out stuff like the panty wish, if Gohan even knows about that. He leaves out the wish where Uncle Vegeta murdered 100 people. You know, he leaves
He
out.
was having a bad day, okay?
He leaves out those important beats and just tells her about the good wishes, all the fun ones.
That'd be more interesting if they went with that route, like made it more obvious. But yeah,
right. Pan learning the true history of everything. Like, whoa.
Dark.
It'd be fun for like new viewers that jumped in like just GT back in the day. You know, if that was their first introduction, like they did what? I gotta go check this series out.
But I do almost wonder if that's. Like, that kind of writing would be the new, like, that just happened. Like, MCU type writing for that kind of thing. Or is this like a genuine way to write a character interaction, or am I just like Marvel pilled? And that's the way I would write something like that.
Could be.
Storytelling is dead, guys. That's what I'm saying.
It's dead. It is.
Whoa. Except for Yakuza 0. Play Yakuza 0. Storytelling is alive and well.
So
there.
Great.
Pan does like that classic like laugh.
She does. I don't think she's ever done it before, right?
I don't think that's been in Dragon Ball at all.
Ever.
That's a distinctly non-Toriyama thing.
Maybe one of the filler female characters like Pisa or something, but yeah.
Well, but even then it'd probably be like like that, not like
not the
for listeners, I'm like holding my hand vertically as the way that we might have seen it before, and then horizontally when I hold my hand is the way that Pan does it in this episode.
Yeah, that's how like the stuck-up anime high school girls are.
Yeah, Jessie from Pokemon, she does it a lot, I think.
She does it a lot, yeah.
So, what happens from here? They fight a little bit, in a way?
And it's kind of cool. It's like Super Saiyan 4 Goku teaming up with Pan, and there's like all the pink beams going around, and they're both just like dodging them together. I'm like, this is great. I like this. I'm enjoying that a lot.
Yeah. Just seeing that. Well, the mole dude blasts Ki from the ground. He doesn't like shoot anything.
Oh, that. Yes. Okay.
And then they do the thing where they stand on top of him, so he blasts himself.
Right.
Just fun fighting.
Yeah.
It's Ki Blastorama, but it's...
I did like that because he's a mole. His whole thing's underground. So there's some kind of science there that his blasts come from underneath the ground. I was like, okay, I can jive with this. It's when there's a theme that I'm okay with it. When there's no theme, it's just like, why? Why was this choice made? But this was...
I would have really liked if that's where this dragon ended, where it's just like, okay, well, he came and terrorized this place. We stopped the earthquake from destroying the city. Turns out he's kind of a goofster, so we managed to make him blow himself up, and now we got a Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But that's not where the story ends.
Unfortunately.
We could have gotten an extra episode of Oob fighting Baby, but no, we got 2 episodes of this guy.
Couldn't agree more. So they've destroyed this dragon. Presumably, the Dragon Ball is there. Pan goes to go pick it up, sees that it's still blue and cracked, and all of a sudden some energy wave comes out of it. She starts to get sucked in, and oops, where'd she go? And he's now been, he, being the dragon, took over her body and reveals like, oh, actually, that's kind of my thing. I'm not a mole. That's another mole that I took over. And we see a dead mole body.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Okay.
I'm glad Goku addresses that a little bit later, too. He's like that poor mole.
Yeah, this is for Chaozu.
That makes it better. This is for Chaozu.
The guy I never talked to.
It makes me think that it's less that they're taking over the body of the mole and Pan. They're just gaining their powers. Because the dude's still a mole at heart, right? He just absorbed a mole, so he got the ability. He got the motives of a mole.
Next episode, they reveal that. But here, we're led to believe that he is really just the ball. Which would be cool.
Which would be cool.
Yeah.
But then why does he look like a mole dragon if he's absorbing Pan?
I didn't realize that the balls turned back orange when it was all said and done. Has that been always the case? Yeah. Okay, I just... Yeah.
The orange, the balls change, and then the sky changes back.
Gotcha. Because I was going to be like, how are they ever going to defeat this thing if the thing is just the ball? If the monster is just the ball? That'd be wild.
Right. So, that's it for that one. You guys got anything else before we move on to the second part
I just want to alert the listeners. Yes, we were introduced to a new dragon here. Unfortunately, we're introduced to 3 different dragons in 3 different episodes. So instead of breaking it up to who's that dragon 3 times, we're going to cover everything at the end.
Yes.
So
in case you're wondering, here.
Yeah, you're like, what did they forget about the hottest segment of Dragon Ball ever? We'll get to it. Don't worry.
Its second appearance ever.
We didn't forget about it. We didn't do it one time and throw it out the window. It's coming. You just be patient. Just sit.
You're going to find out all the victory mission lore you ever needed to know. Don't worry.
Hell yeah. That was much excited for.
So let's move on to episode 53. Pan vanishes.
Pan vanishes. Pause the mall.
I like it. Keep going.
All right. Pan vanishes. A tearful 10 times Kamehameha. The 7-star dragon continues his rampage in his newly reborn body after having possessed Pan. Goku struggles with his desire to defeat the dragon while not killing Pan in the process. Goku eventually tricks the dragon into releasing Pan just enough for the Super Saiyan 4 to pull her free and defeat the messy mole, landing them another Dragon Ball.
So when Randy just read out loud, Goku eventually tricks the dragon to releasing Pan just enough, Doug recoiled in disgust. And this is where I'm with Doug, because this is how could Goku have possibly known that this dragon, A, is capable of doing this, and B, would do it?
We're talking about the dragon kind of, you're haha, Goku, you're almost dead. Let me reveal Pan to you in body form, so you could look at her one last time to fuck you. And Goku's like, right where I wanted you. Like, how you don't know that he does this?
This, of all the 5 episodes we watched, this was the worst part of these 5 episodes. I'm not going to let it ruin it for me. This is why I said I'm mostly positive, but I think this was like such a black hole of awful storytelling that, Doug, I'm with you. I'm recoiling.
If he didn't say it, it would have been fine. It's like, oh, Goku just took advantage of a good moment to rescue Pan. No, it's like it's a distinct Goku. I've been waiting for this moment. Goku is a genius. He knew he was just luring him into this trap.
So I just poo-pooed on the storytelling of this episode. However, the episode starts with a nice little bit of storytelling. Doug, you like bookends. This isn't exactly a bookend, but it's mirroring, where in the last episode, Goku said he doesn't like to fight an enemy who won't fight back. And in this episode, Yi Xing Long says a fight against an enemy that doesn't fight back is boring because Goku won't fight him.
Oh, interesting.
And that's cool. I like that.
That is cool. Yeah, you're right.
And then Yi Xing Long using the Kamehameha, so I got to add him to the list of Yi Xing Long Kamehameha users, on the wiki.
Damn, it's so mind-boggling seeing the city being destroyed and Goku just standing there, blast after blast. This dragon's blowing up buildings, throwing Kamehamehas at it, and Goku's just like, "Whoa, no urgency, nothing. Just like, man, that's a shame."
Oh, Doug, don't worry, because when he turns Super Saiyan 4, he loses a little bit of his reasoning. Don't you know that?
When he said that, I'm like, oh, then everything is fine. Then that makes sense.
I mean, despite you acting exactly like Goku always has, you've lost a little bit of your reasoning, so that's all right.
Yeah, it could have been when he said that. I was hoping it could have been like a bluff to the dragon, like, hey, I when I transform like this, I lose my reasoning, so you better watch out. I'm gonna actually destroy you without caring about Pan. But I don't know, could be both.
I do like that the dragon's like, look, I can do the thing that Pan can do, and does a Kamehameha, where we made a big thing of it 2 episodes ago, where it's like, oh, guess what? I can do this move now. Or 2 episodes, 3, however many.
I was almost gonna be mad at that, but it's like, nah. I mean, she did it. She learned it, so it's suffice to say that the dragon can do it now too.
It's like baby Vegeta using Gallic Cannon and whatever. Good stuff. Old water jug Gohan walking home with the water jugs.
Oh yeah,
the water lines are down, presumably gas lines or electricity and everything, and really made it feel like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, right.
And I kind of like that vibe.
Except even though things are getting better because they're taking care of dragons, but I assume these ones that are happening are closer to home, so things are still kind of messy there.
The world is no longer under as much of a threat of the negative energy surrounding it, the minus energy. However, have you seen these cities, Randy?
I have. Yeah, that's true. But, if they're on the other side of the world, it's kind of like, well, it doesn't really affect here. So it must be near there. Although I didn't see the sky when he was walking. It's like, oh, is it funky colored?
But okay, this is also what upset me about this whole Gohan scene is that it paints the picture that no one else is out there to help them. No one is like, what happened to everything in Z when everyone's like, oh, I can feel Goku's energy almost depleting. I need to go help. No one does that. There's no line from Gohan that's like, I don't feel Pan's energy anymore after she's being absorbed by this dragon. Like, there's none of that. Nobody goes to help them. It's really upsetting.
Or urgency to go help them themselves. Be
Nothing.
like, oh, you know what?
I hope Pan's okay. I hope my daughter is okay.
There's nothing one of the strongest beings on the planet, can do about this.
Yeah, or that's such Gohan's character. Gohan goes back during the Saiyan saga to go help his father, even though he knows he's not going to have any help, but because he cares and wants to be there and like do whatever he can. Here, it's just like, not my problem anymore.
See, I thought that this was one of the few instances where Gohan and Videl felt like parents.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do. Yeah. It's just that
they didn't feel like Gohan and Videl.
Why wouldn't either of them be like, let's go help? I mean, Doug brought up the good point, like, nobody can sense their ki and feel like, it's weird. I don't feel Pan anymore. So maybe we should go check things out.
We have a future episode in this batch that would imply that no one feels anything until the Goku and Yi Xing Long power up together.
Mm-hmm.
That no one's even sensing anything that's going on. So no one has any real context for what is going on out there with these dragons. They don't know.
I guess so. No, but then I think later on in this episode, Goku brings up, man, we only got 3 days left. Let's go do this. That's even another reason to have other people help. You're on a time limit. You have 3 days left.
When did they establish a time limit?
Yeah. When did that happen?
At the end of one of these episodes, Goku was like, or Goku or the narrator is like, they only had 3 days left.
Joji Yanami. Are you sure? They didn't say they only have 3 balls left?
No. I saw days.
Okay.
Maybe it's balls, but I think it was days.
So strong in his conviction.
I was fully awake
the last second
for these first 4 episodes, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that said day. I'll have to look into that, but I'm like, there's a time limit too, and no one's helping them. That's so off.
Goku decides, all right, fine, I will kill my granddaughter because he, hears her. It's like, I would rather be killed and all of this instead of other people getting hurt. So he charges 10 times Kamehameha, fires it, but oh no, he's still alive, and, reveals that Goku must have subconsciously held back, and that wasn't even a 5 times Kamehameha, so that wasn't going to do anything.
You have already lost.
It made me hate the naming scheme of naming it the 10-time Kamehameha. Like, what kind of name is that?
We already did one cool thing with that, and that was in the baby fight when he's like, I'm going to fire another 10 times. And it's like, oh, please, you're not strong enough. You couldn't do it 10 times anything. Like, that's good. But then this is like, that wasn't even 5 times. Like, what math do you do, dude?
Yeah, a 1 time should be enough to take care of you. I don't know. What is this? It's so annoying. I should point out before this, like, as like when Goku has like his memories of Pan and like, oh no, it's 2 memories. It's just 2, and that's it. It's a thing when she's a baby, and then like one from a throwaway episode a few episodes ago. It's like that's it.
Yeah.
No more like heartfelt memories you're gonna flash back to. Nothing. I was almost happy that Pan died. I was like, yes, finally, but.
You go back to the beginning of the series. Remember how I watched the last episode of Z first before watching GT?
Yeah.
Goku spent like no time with Pan.
Yeah.
Before GT starts. They went to the beach that one day that they keep showing us.
Yep.
But really not a whole lot of interaction with her.
No. Could have been that one from a couple episodes back where they're on their way and they're like stopped and he's like getting a drink of water or whatever, and she's like looking through the ball and they're just kind of sitting there chatting with each other. Like, there's that if you need another quick little, here's a little snippet.
Yeah. But no, it's just 2 memories.
So now we get to this travesty of I was waiting for this moment.
Oh, well, before that, I wanted to bring up the line when Goku has been defeated by the dragon, basically is laying there, and he brings up this is the first time my body and heart have ever been so pained. And I was like, really? What about against poor Kuriden? You know, when you're fighting Frieza and you just got everything wrecked, and then you see your buddy get killed. I mean, that would be a body pained and a heart pained. I don't know, but I get it. It's family.
I was mid-bite through an apple, and then I'm like, wait, what did he say? What? Whatever. I was like, did he say something like that?
This episode just falls apart at the end.
It does.
It tries too hard to be heartfelt, and it fails miraculously.
Yeah. So there's this line. There's I was waiting for this moment. There's the bird saying "quah quah quah" as it flies, and then there's the whole mole thing. He's supposed to be the ball.
Yeah. He's just the mole.
Yeah.
I did like that, you know, when he's beating him up, we brought it before. This is for that innocent mole. Like, well, yeah, but
yeah. And then this is for Pan.
But I do love when Goku at the very end, he goes to wake up Pan and he's like, I'm Yi Xing Long. What's up?
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
I think that's so mean. This poor girl has been through so much, professed kill me. I would much rather deal with that than other people being dead. And your grandpa's like, you know what would be a really great joke right now? It's like, no, man, that's going too far. I mean, maybe in a different context, sure. But that, I think, is traumatizing for a girl her age, or anybody, any age.
Was this the batch of episodes where Pan sticks Gyro in her backpack so that they could fly faster to the city?
I don't remember that.
I don't know. Must have blacked out then.
There's definitely like a moment where like she's like, we gotta head there fast, which like it's like that makes you think like, oh, what has Gyro been doing these previous episodes beforehand, like not keeping up with them, or they're just flying at his speed, or
he's been hanging out with Joji Yanami, wasting time apparently.
Can we move on from this episode? Or do you guys have more to say?
We have got. There was stuff going on in the world of anime here, guys.
Oh, shoot.
So we have a bit of a gap here in between episodes. So the one that we just watched came out July 16th, 1997. The one we're about to talk about came out August 6th, 1997. So that's a pretty couple weeks. In that period of time, July 19th, 1997, tell me if you guys have heard about this. The end of Evangelion comes out.
Huh.
Dude.
Wow.
Now, if only we had a podcast covering that very movie itself.
Dude, I guess we got a pod. We got a podcast about that,
just,
man.
check it out.
Go back a couple episodes. You'll see it.
This is where we crash into the world of the contemporary. Because on July 22nd, 1997, One Piece Chapter 1 comes out.
No way. The world was not ready. The world would never be the same again.
Yeah. And you can really see the evil dragon influence in Chapter 1 of One Piece.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay.
Eiichiro Oda was definitely like, oh yeah, Super 17, evil dragons.
Yeah. I don't watch One Piece, so I don't know, but
Romance Dawn was written while he was watching the Super 17 arc. He's like,
Dragon Ball GT was so bad that it slingshotted One Piece to where it is today.
He saw like when they cleanse the Dragon Ball and the sky turns back, and he's like, oh, that dawn is romantic. So really, influence.
Come on, I'll give you romance. I get it. It all comes back.
The One Piece anime starts in 1999. So One Piece is technically, like SpongeBob, it is a product of the 90s.
Okay. Wow.
That's a plague that lingers to this day.
And then August 2nd, 1997, Tenchi Muyo, Midsummer's Eve, also known as Tenchi the Movie 2, Daughter of Darkness, comes out.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Randy, you're a big Tenchi fan, right?
I like to think so. I haven't seen everything because I tried to watch
I wouldn't admit that
OVA 4, and I was like, ooh, I'm not enjoying this
I watched them
all.
back when they aired. Did they air on Cartoon Network? Or I remember watching Toonami. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I remember watching a few episodes of, not a few, I remember like watching it, but then once I got to movies and stuff, I never really kept up.
If we ever legitimately do like a Tenchi review show,
man,
years down the line, when we're not editing these
ourselves. Was this ever in the talks? You say if we ever do this, as if it was on the table already.
We'll go more into this, and I'd love to like peer into what was going on in execs' minds when they picked up Tenchi, because like, how did they ever think this was going to fly on television?
Right,
it's a show about a guy with a harem, and
it awoken something in me.
Yes. But they also had to like digitally color in swimsuits on these women because the excessive amount of nudity in these series, particularly in the OVAs.
There's more? I gotta find these OVAs.
They're good. So, I've got them. You can watch them. I mean, this was like the thing that was happening. Like, Pokemon was big, so everybody was like, grab whatever anime property you got. If it's cheap enough, we'll grab it and we'll throw it on TV. I don't think they even check, because I mean, like things like Escaflowne, Fox Kids, like that is not appropriate for children at all, especially later, which they didn't air later episodes because they're like, never mind.
What blows my mind is that Slayers never got a like wide release on TV.
It originally did. I think it was Fox picked up the rights to it and then didn't air it.
That would have been the
show
perfect
check off
Toonami
all
show.
The marks of like a good show. Okay.
Yeah.
Slayers is great.
Yeah, Slayers is really cool.
Like good for kids and everything. That's cool.
More so than Tenchi or Escaflowne.
Yeah, big time. But yeah, I mean, the late 90s were wild. People were doing execs. Who knows how much cocaine they still had left over from the 80s and what they were doing.
Yes. So that's it for the world of anime until the next episode, which is episode 54, Power of 6,000 degrees Celsius, the Warrior of the Sun. As the hunt continues, Goku and Pan are attacked first by an oppressive heat, and then by the next dragon. For once, this evil dragon is itching for a fight. Goku is all too happy to battle with the 4-star dragon and reclaim his grandpa's memento, though dealing with the high heat of the dragon's body is proving to be quite the obstacle. Can Super Saiyan 4 overcome this new foe? Nah.
At least not in this episode. Koizumi's here. Ken, I know that you're loving it. He's got great Goku faces.
Oh, yeah.
He does at the very, very end.
Yes. At the end, I was like, oh, damn. Ken's got to be able to at least see this and be like, this is some
It's
good
the
stuff.
most raw Super Saiyan 4 Goku face ever.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
It is. It's very good.
But so in this episode, we're in New York City, Randy.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to do a Laszlo impression for you right now.
It is Laszlo. I was thinking, hey, probably Laszlo. Still don't know what Laszlo is. But
we see what looks like a headless Lady Liberty and the Empire State Building.
Oh, I didn't even look at that.
Not
Do they
just
even
that,
mention the fact that nobody is here? I would assume it's like, oh, it's so hot, everybody left.
Yeah, that was my read on it.
Yeah.
And then Pan and Goku have like an oddly intellectual discussion about whether or not they should be able to see the sun.
Oh, yeah. I would say intellectual. It was cool how Goku was like, he brought up a previous episode from way back when they were in space, and it's just like, you've just been in that one planet, just really fucked you up with the sun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, really.
I don't blame you for not really knowing what it's supposed to look like or something like that.
So Randy, see, Goku trauma is something that will trigger transformation. You see, so he has, when he thinks of, being triggered, he thinks of it in a good way.
Right. Okay.
Right. He's like, I'm triggered into transforming. So that's why he was tricking Pan in the last episode. He was trying to get her to transform.
Gotcha.
You're right.
Okay.
And that's why it's okay for Goku.
We all know Goku is a misogynist who knows that females can't turn Super Saiyan.
He knows
never brings it up.
Fact.
He doesn't even attempt. With Gohan, it's all day. You've got it in you, boy. I'll get it.
So we've got...
My first note here is that Pan keeps abusing Guru. I don't remember what he did, but that's my first note again, so I was upset about it. So
I like that you're banging that drum. Because
Pan is banging Guru. Needs to stop.
I'm coming! Is this the first time in like 500 episodes that Goku has talked about the memento of his grandfather?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't he bring it up when he brings Gohan to go meet Roshi and Bulma and stuff with the hat?
All right. So 300 episodes.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, though. He doesn't really dwell on it too much. It's kind of an unspoken thing, which makes it more sweeter. That
He's
it's
a grandpa
Goku's
now.
thing. It's
He's
Goku's
got other family.
Yeah. Did they keep the 4-star ball after, like, prior to all these balls separating and GT and everything? Did we know that or not? Or
well, they were out and about cracking
out in the wild.
Okay.
Yeah, they stopped keeping them after. Yeah, I guess just after Z starts. Yeah, they don't keep. Of course, then there's Super, in which Bulma is constantly collecting them.
Can't stop herself.
Yeah.
I love Super.
As you can see by the shirt.
Speaking of things that I love in this episode is when Pan goes to attack Yi Xing Long and the Hitori Janai starts and stops like immediately. She gets knocked out and it just cuts out.
Oh.
Just the first ending theme, but the non-vocal version. And then we're like, oh cool, we're getting the song. A big moment. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
We're done.
Because this is when the dragon like chops Pan and like puts her to sleep or whatever and then throws her to the side.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yep.
Which is so weird of Pan to just be like, don't worry, Grandpa, we got this. It's like Goku's like, this guy's on another level. Don't worry about it. And then just gets knocked out of me. It was so satisfying.
Well, but see, I think her intent is that she's going to knock them out before things get out of hand. Because with all the other ones, it's been like trickery going on.
Yeah.
True.
So
and of course, this guy is the straightest edge dragon of all.
Dragon Ball Z just showed up in dragon form, and she did not. Was not expecting that. Yeah,
no.
But it's funny that this dragon, like he starts out saying, "Goku, you're finally here. I wanted to fight you," but then spends the entire episode just chasing him, making it a point to not like combat him. You know, because his body's too hot.
Yeah.
Goku is the one that's always running away from him because like, this guy's got a new ability that even though Goku sees it and he knows what's going on, it still works on him.
But if I wanted to fight you in a fair fight, but you couldn't touch me because I had a heat barrier that I could turn on and off, I wouldn't have it on. I would want to fight you, right?
Can he turn it off?
Yeah.
Because like the whole city is always hot all the time. I figured it was just, I can make it hotter, but I'm already very warm.
He turns it off when he goes gold, right?
No, because then at the end, Goku transforms to Super Saiyan 4 because he's like, Super Saiyan 4 can withstand this heat. And then he transforms.
Fucking blow my brains out with that shit.
Yeah. That's what I wrote here was Super Saiyan 4 can withstand 6,000 degree heat. Is this a new ability that we didn't know about?
Yeah, definitely. Sure. And that he could have used at any moment, but he just wanted to have a I'm running from Cell kind of moment this whole episode.
So we do have to address, this is the Piccolo Daimyo wish.
Yep.
Just this is, I think, possibly the last wish that gets addressed in the series.
Really? Is it?
This is the one.
I sure did not get one
where
for the
Goku's like, "Oh, what are you from? Okay, cool," and then move on. Like this is like showing how they mean nothing to the thematic thing of this Dragon arc.
And then we see what I think are the Twin Towers.
Oh,
but they're pointy. But if we're in one of the shots they show like that building, in the Spider-Man games where the building's like slanted. I don't know if that's the Chrysler building or what, but the top of it kind of like I don't know, it's slanted anyways.
That's in this episode?
Yeah, we see that in the background.
Catch if this was New York at all, so I didn't think to look for that. That's kind of cool.
So if we're in an established New York and I see two tall buildings together,
you immediately, and this is pre 9/11.
Yeah. You could air Lilo and Stitch in its original form in this era. Yeah.
Can 4-star Dragon Heat melt steel beams?
Ooh, I don't know. We need a whole series. This is what Z-tubers are missing out on. You could be covering the real important stuff, right?
Real
the dragon conspiracy.
Yeah. This would be interesting.
Come on.
Yeah.
The conspiracies out of Dragon
Ball Z, more like Dragon Ball Q. Am I right, guys?
Oh,
whoa! So I've brought up before that I was very happy in a previous episode where they were like, "Let's actually do hand-to-hand combat," and I'm like, "Great." We're getting away from just doing ki blasts, which I felt has been way too prevalent in this series. And then this is Goku is like, oh, he's too hot. I can't get in. It's ki blastorama day for me. And I'm like, no.
Exclusively beams. And they're not even clever with the beams. It's just, this is their chance to be clever with them and do something, some combination or some like bendy shit. Nope. It's just like blast, 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 blast. That was like Vegeta's technique kind of bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, Pan does that. Yeah. She fires off multiple beams.
Yeah.
Again.
I was almost like, they're not even going to use like Taiyoken. They're not going to use Solar Flare. But then Goku does. So I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the irony of using the power of the sun against this guy. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I love GT.
GT's good, actually, guys.
Goku knew from the start that would work. He knew.
Gear
there's
gets owned.
moments where
Gear does get owned.
Yeah, unfortunately. Goku comes up to like a dead end. A dead end? It doesn't mean anything to these characters anymore, so I don't know why. You could just walk through a wall.
Yeah, and you could wish that end back to life, too.
You're going to be dealing with all these evil dragons again.
Do they end up wishing back humans that have been killed during this time? Because it's a lot of people that get killed brutally.
We'll talk about that in a future episode.
Okay.
Right.
'Cause Goku punches the previous dragon up against the building with civilians still inside. I just want to point that out.
It really do be that way.
Yeah.
He's got magnifying lenses that
Right.
I guess were there the whole time. We just only are now seeing them.
Well, I figured he can just conjure them. I mean, there's sand and dust around. You could melt that down into glass.
What's the point of them?
To make his blast of heat stronger, which is strange because it's not light. It's not light-based attacks. It's heat. So why would the lens... Whatever. That's fine. You're doing something new,
not
I
fine.
guess. It's not fine.
I'm telling you, it's not fine.
And then
better.
This red form looks like poo-poo doo-doo butts. I hate it. I hate it. It's so ugly.
I'm
Gold?
going to say better myself.
Gold.
Gold.
Sick.
Gold is gold. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
How can you go wrong?
Get that red out of here. Gold, perfect.
Gold is a good choice. And he's
Red I sleep,
transformed.
gold I wake.
So then Goku transforms, and that's where we leave this one. I don't really have anything else to say other than we had lots of feet and ass shots with this dragon.
We did, yeah. Yes. I was going to write it down, but Randy, I should have known you'd have me covered
You
there.
were on it.
Yeah.
Yep. Have no
Foot and
fear.
butt expert Randy. I'm coming.
And but yeah, that's what we have for that
TNA for
one.
Randy is toes and ass.
Anything else you guys want to say before we jump into
Yes, going into the next episode, I decided to watch the last time on Dragon Ball GT, and nothing happened. Even they agreed. Did you guys see it? Because it's literally, I wrote it down. The last episode preview is hilarious. It literally skips the entire episode. It shows Pan is knocked out, Goku uses solar flare, and then both transform, and that's it.
Whoa.
That's the last time on GT that they showed.
It's impressive because we've had some episodes that are like the last time goes on for like 2.5 minutes where that's like just
But
we gotta
I
fill
knew-
time.
I knew watching this episode, I'm like, nothing flipping happened. And let me see if they agree. And they did. And I was vindicated. I was like, yep, what a waste of an episode.
Man.
Yeah.
So 55. Bulma makes her move, the plan to remodel Vegeta. While Goku struggles with the 4-star dragon, Vegeta decides that he can no longer leave this fight to him alone and takes off to help. Before he can get far, Bulma calls him back to inform him she has a plan. After reminiscing on how their gap in power became so vast, Bulma reveals her plan. She will force Vegeta to become a Super Saiyan 4 using the tech she developed when she was controlled by Baby. Will this plan bear fruits?
Nice. Bulma calls Vegeta before he gets too far. He's like, wait. Okay.
Oh, yes, sweetie. There's some good parts in this, and we will talk about it.
I was shockingly into this episode.
Yeah, weirdly. I mean, it's a recap episode. It's Uchiyama. Obviously, it should be like, who cares? Whatever. But there are good parts to this. And
This-
I was going to say.
Yes.
I was going to say how nice it was to watch, these clips from a good show, but then the GT music ruins it
Yeah.
entirely.
it does. So strange.
During these, I'm so familiar with Dragon Ball Z and everything, so I was just kind of zoning out during this part, and I was thinking oh yeah, when they were dubbing GT and they got to this Goku versus Vegeta fight, this would have been the first time that Schemmel and Sabat got to do this much of that fight.
Interesting.
Because they had not released Ultimate
really?
Uncut yet.
Huh.
Oh.
Ultimate Uncut wouldn't be for another year or two.
You're right. I thought you were going to say it was the first time that Masako Nozawa and
Real Horikawa.
Horikawa got to do these lines. Because when I'm thinking of all the constant redubbing that the American cast had to do, but this is the first time that they would come back to the Saiyan arc is in this GT episode you're saying?
I mean, they're obviously, this is not the first time they flash back to that fight, but they flash back to this fight and then just kind of let it play out.
Yeah. Much more than the Your Number One episode.
And a lot of that
It's
stuff was redrawn in that episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
So sorry for bringing up the dub. It was something I was thinking about while I was just looking at footage I've already seen a million times.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Because I didn't even think about that at the time.
I think that was what, at the time, I was like disappointed in hearing what was adult Vegeta's voice for Chris Sabat. I was like, oh, that'd be weird to hear that voice come out of that young of a Vegeta. But then I was disappointed when they redid the Ultimate Uncuts, and he did use the same. Now I come to learn that is just like what the Vegeta's voice should be. But because he was such an amateur in the beginning of doing Z, it sounded like a younger Vegeta to me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because he was doing an impression.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what I was like. That's what I took as a young Vegeta. But no, it was just he was doing an impression, but now he evolved it into his own voice. At the time, I was like weirded out.
So you got something that sounded like this, but you wanted something that sounded like this.
Yeah, like younger, because he was super thin and everything, and yeah.
Yeah, you wanted the Brian Drummond, the fake Brian Drummond. And
I wanted a little more progression, because then it's that, and then back to Ginyu episodes where he is like that, and then the evolution.
Yeah. Hey, shouts out to people who like the dub, because you are on a roller coaster.
All the time.
I know Sabat like redubbed a lot of his stuff when they did the Orange Bricks, but even so, I mean, you're on like Sonny Straits all over the place in his Krillin voice. You've got Gohan's all over the place. Shemel's is all over the place. So yeah, I think Sonny Strait might have redone some of his stuff too. But
at least you have Kai. I watched that dubbed.
Yeah,
that was good stuff.
Kai. The only way to watch Kai is to watch it dubbed.
Sure.
Yeah.
So all of the scenes that we kind of that Vegeta's thinking about when he's like, when did our strength get so, out of whack? We've got Goku versus Vegeta during the Saiyan arc, Frieza killing Vegeta, then a random cut to Bad Man stuff when Goku lands from Yardrat, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that, we jump straight to Majin Vegeta versus Goku. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Skip all the Cell stuff. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess they didn't interact a lot.
Well, there is that moment when Goku steps out of the room of spirit and time, and Vegeta's like, "Are you saying you're stronger than I am?" And Goku's like, "Dude, you have no idea."
Yeah.
Good luck.
I love that rendition.
Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea.
Whatever, man. You're not even a concern to me anymore.
Did you guys, when Frieza kills Vegeta, and did you guys get a feeling that Nozawa's line reading of that was kind of like weak? Like, what did I write here? It's Vegeta gets shot by Frieza, and Goku's like, "Hey, man, not cool." Like, that's the kind of vibe you put out.
There were parts where I was watching this where I was wondering if they redubbed themselves.
They did.
They did. Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, Vegeta's supposed to sound way smoother than this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, definitely. Even the Japanese guys, redubbed this whole thing.
Yeah, because of course Toei doesn't keep track of their master recordings, so they wouldn't have had them.
I mean, not sure if you've noticed, but even when we're doing episode to episode, when we do, last time on Dragon Ball Z, and we've got clips from the previous episode, all of the voice lines are redone. They're not the same voice clips.
What?
Every single episode, they redo them.
No way.
What?
You didn't know?
We got to go back and do our homework, Ken. We got to go back and watch all the.
Yep. Go back and watch a last time, and then go to the previous episode and listen back and forth. Like, they're different.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. I always skip them, except for that one time I wanted to make sure, but nothing happened. But yeah, wow. That's wild, dude.
Dragon Ball's bad, actually. I don't like it anymore.
Ken's out. He's moved to the back of the room. He is just throwing all of his figures into a giant dumpster.
Well, I think they have to do that because sometimes they edit those previews a little differently. Like, they even use like the cells in different times. I noticed when I was editing for like AMVs and stuff that when I used the clip from last time an episode, like everyone's doing the Genki Dama, it's like one character puts their hand up, the next one puts their hands up afterwards. But in the not so much a preview, they both put up at the same time. I'm like, that's weird. That doesn't happen in the.
Yeah, but if you're editing, you should have the separate audio tracks. So you'd be like, all right, cut this part, put this one here, put this here.
It should be
but
that simple,
like,
right? But nah.
They're like, here's the next episode.
They just wanted work.
Do your lines again.
They just wanted work. So when it cuts to Majin Vegeta and Goku when they're at the tournament and Vegeta's about to blast everyone, seeing Goku show concern for civilians then makes it a lot more apparent he doesn't care about civilians in GT now. You know what I mean?
True.
Collateral.
Yeah, there's exactly.
It's a bad look.
I think this is just more of that fantastic Vegeta characterization in GT.
Yep.
Of him being like, hey, I used to be obsessed with being number one, but I'm just kind of like, I'm on my own path now.
I'm good now, but then Goku now has this new form, and why can't I do it?
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's like, I'm curious as why I can't do it, but I'm not obsessed with trying to beat you. I know you're better than me.
Which then makes me
just
think,
kind
like,
of,
yeah, Super Saiyan 4 isn't like the next step after 3. It's its own thing that you just need to transform while you're in Ozaru, Golden Ozaru form, and if you have rationale. And Vegeta could have, in theory, done this a long time ago, right?
Well, I mean, we have that whole scene after he reminisces, goes to talk with Bulma, who she's like, I'm going to turn you into Super Saiyan 4. Brings up, like, I kept all of the data and stuff from when we were on planet Sufru. I really like that we get a clip of then with evil Bulma, and Vegeta make mention of, like, oh, wow, such an evil looking face. And she's like, never mind, watch the next part.
Yeah, he says, that's a dreadful look on your face.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I like this. They feel like a couple. And I just really like cute. That.
But I really liked them explaining why Baby couldn't go Super Saiyan 4, even if, like, but Randy, this is what I'm
shaking my head, but go ahead.
This is what I'm talking about. Throwaway lines. We need throwaway lines to just explain stuff away. And Bulma says, couldn't do it because of baby cells. Boom, done. That's all I need.
Boom, done. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Okay. That's fine. I'm glad that we got an explanation. Not as good as what we had deduced when we were talking about it, where it's like, well, Vegeta's not in charge of his body here at all. So it's Baby who's keeping his reasoning. So of course it wouldn't affect a transformation there because it's not his body and mind in sync there. It's a different body, different mind. Doesn't matter. But I'm glad
thought that up.
We did.
That's genius then.
I love GT.
So, yeah.
I love GT.
So I'm glad they gave us an explanation. I think it's a horseshit explanation compared to what the real fans.
I think both are very adequate. It's like baby cells were interfering. Yeah, that's all I need.
Speaking of redone lines, how about that Ozaru roar of Goku's in this recap? Wasn't that a lot better?
Yeah.
It's not Nozawa just screaming, shrieking.
I think it was. It's just actually pitched down versus not doing that at all during that episode. So I was like, so you can do it good. Okay,
someone at Toei was checking message boards or IRC channels or whatever. We're going to surpass Super Saiyan 4, guys.
Yeah. Super Saiyan 4 or 5, whatever you've got.
Or whatever you got.
Get there. Vegeta asks why he wasn't able to transform back in the day because he brings up, I did have my reasoning when I transformed back in the day. And it's like, good. You're asking the questions that people who have been following the series have probably been asking, like, wait, but then why? And she says, well, if Goku was to answer that question, he'd probably say it was because of a lack of training or strength. But now he does have that strength, so he definitely will transform to Super Saiyan 4. She's very supportive. She's like, nah, you got it now. You're strong.
Yeah, I guess so. It's one of those things where it's like, no, you had to be at a certain strength to transform, as opposed to you could have done this against Cell,
right?
If you just turn yourself to Zaru.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I'm sure, is there a guidebook thing, Ken, for like, here's the criteria to become Super Saiyan, and it's like, gotta have a pure heart, gotta get real angry, and I'm certain you have to have a certain level of strength, because otherwise, like, why didn't he transform when Kudadin was killed by?
That's why I don't like them naming it. As cool and comfortable I am calling it Super Saiyan 4, I hate that it's 4 as in a sequential of like a next progression. I wish it was its own thing. I wish this was the legendary Super Saiyan. It's a more fitting title for this is what a monkey transforms into a rational humanoid.
Super Ozaru too.
There is some stuff. I think Lance covered it in one of the latest Dragon Ball dissections, where there was some stuff in interviews or in the Perfect Files hinting that Super Saiyan 4 maybe actually is the legendary Super Saiyan.
Boom, I like that.
So They don't confirm it, but they're like, yeah, maybe.
No,
Maybe.
yeah. I would
Why
love
not?
that. That makes more sense to me.
Are we done with this episode?
I think we're done.
Because we're
Is
back
there-
to the world of anime.
We're back
Hey.
Okay.
in a big way.
So this last episode, the Vegeta episode, August 20th, 1997. The next episode will be September 3rd, 1997. So 2 weeks in there. In that span of time, on September 1st, 1997, a little manga, you might have heard of it. It's kind of draws some Dragon Ball Sayuki.
Oh.
Sayuki. The
Interesting.
manga begins.
Journey
Never
to the
heard.
West.
Yeah.
There was an anime adaptation. It's 4 cute boys out on the
It's
town.
very what would you call this?
Shoujo-ish? I don't know.
Fushoji?
Fujoshi.
Fujoshi.
Futanari.
Yeah.
Very kind of like...
Nope, not that one.
Well, I mean, anyways. The anime starts in 2000, and really the Sayuki anime is some of the like worst anime I've seen ever.
Really?
We're talking about like PowerPoint presentation stuff,
Yes.
Doug.
Oh.
It's really bad. It's
I watched
graphic
it
novels.
in anime club in college, and then I picked up the DVDs later, much later, to check it out. I got like episode 2 and I'm like, oh my god, we did not move anything.
I own like 3 or 4 Sayuki DVDs because this was an era. Okay, this was an era when like there you didn't have access to a million things on Crunchyroll, right? You had what was being dubbed at the time, and that was what was
in your
coming out.
Suncoast.
Your Suncoast, your Sam Goody, your Spencers. I think maybe they had anime sometimes.
No.
Hot Topic did.
Hot Topic. So what you could get there is what you could. Best Buy really wasn't covering a lot of the stuff yet. We couldn't find it at Walmart really or Target yet. It was like you had to go to these specialty shops.
Yeah,
What they
if you could
had.
imagine going to Best Buy and seeing nothing anime. That was our lives as a youth.
Well, that's how it is now. But
So you just got into Dragon Ball, or you got into anime because Dragon Ball is like pushing. I mean, anime was always a thing in the US, right? But Dragon Ball came along and said, dude, teenage boys, check this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainstream.
And so it was exploding even more so than before, but it's not where it is today yet, right? And so Sayuki is just kind of what you had. And you would, it was the new thing that they had.
Final Fantasy 15 in the 90s.
You would go and you would get it, and it was an ADV dub, so it was the Houston actors. So it means like your Vic Mignogna's, your the Ayers brothers.
Yep.
And then just whoever happened to be in Houston at the time, your Spike Spencer, your Tiffany Grant, all the ADV crew. Actually, I don't know who's in Sayuki. But
I've never seen or heard of this. There's the guy with the glasses. There's the short king. There's
Goku.
the hot blonde typical character, and there's the bad boy.
That's Krillin, by the way. But, or Bulma,
Krillin's the
technically.
short king?
Both been inspired.
But yes, it was Greg Ayers who played Goku.
Yeah, Son Goku. Doug, you might have heard of him.
Might have.
I only do Wukong in this house.
Sayuki's bad. I have heard that Reloaded and Revolutions and Resurrections are better.
Right. I just haven't gotten past the first disc because I bought, they all come out. Yeah. They've all come out on like SD on BD thanks to like Disc Tech. So I've got those, but I just haven't watched anything of it. I'm like, I've got it for when I want to get to it.
So you continued to buy more Sayuki as an adult?
I have a problem. I like to buy and just have anime. Like that's just what I do.
I've heard the animation gets better, but that's an anime they need to go back and like have Mappa redo.
Sayuki Brotherhood.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sayuki Brotherhood, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. We talked about a lot about an anime I cannot recommend. So
I don't know any other person out there that has heard of this series.
Oh,
Doug.
Tons of people know.
You think I'm living under a rock not playing Spider-Man 2. Doug, you are under the rock.
You think you know GT. You don't know GT.
Sayuki fanboys and fangirls, sound off in the comments. We know you're out there. Ken, why don't you tell us about this last episode that we're covering here?
After the sun comes extreme cold, the sibling dragons of fire and ice. Goku is powered up to Super Saiyan 4 to battle the 4-star dragon head-on. During their bout, Goku realizes while he might have the edge in power, he falls short when it comes to speed. After paying the evil dragon back for not harming Pan, they can finally begin their fight on even ground. But what's this? The 3-star dragon has arrived on the scene and doesn't intend to make this a fair fight against Goku or his own younger brother, the 4-star dragon. How will Goku deal with these squabbling siblings? Okay, this is where, Doug, you should be like, oh, the Dragon Realm is actually cool. Because how are these guys brothers and seemingly have a history to them if they didn't come from somewhere else?
I mean, maybe like eons ago when they were released before.
Yeah,
but I'd like the Dragon Realm sounds like a more feasible idea, more tangible. Like, hey, we exist in this other world together.
Yeah.
I hate that they're brothers.
Toyotaro.
I thought they were all brothers. They're all dragons.
Why aren't they all
dudes.
brothers?
This is the Beerus and Champa thing all over again, where it's like all these gods of destructions and you two are brothers. You're mirror dimensions, but you're brothers. Whatever.
Wow, Toriyama, way to steal from GT.
Yeah, man.
It just reeks of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I also wrote down like, aren't they all brothers?
Yeah.
Like they all come from the same set of Dragon
That's
Balls.
just a lazy way of like, we're gonna just color swap this character now.
But see, they don't come from the Dragon Balls. They come from the Dragon Realm. Randy, you got to get your mind around it.
I'm sorry. Show me again on your big Toyble AF yarn board you got back there, showing how it all works
It
out.
all comes down to AF.
It all comes down. AF is required reading before this.
Yeah, before it takes place after, but read it before.
Exactly.
It'll make even out the evil dragons for you.
This is like those OVAs for Evangelion that you should definitely watch before 3.33.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Did you notice that the cars being thrown into the building are just normal ass cars?
They're not funky Toriyama cars.
We've got hover cars in this world, dude. Real Back to the Future type beat. And these are normal, like Chevrolet, like that. That old hick had a Chevy, okay? That old farmer with a shotgun with a power level higher than Mike's.
Yeah.
But that's a deep cut.
That's a very deep cut.
But, watch us on Mario Kart Saturdays.
Yeah. But we're in the city now. We're not in Hicksville. They should have hover cars here. New York City.
Yeah.
Okay?
Unless you're saying America's so way back.
So
could be.
What's going on here? I'm afraid to ask.
The world's a big place, man. They haven't got that technology there yet.
West City's been hoarding it.
Yeah.
So they kick off with a beam struggle, but then they go into actually fighting hand to hand. So it looks like Super Saiyan 4 can withstand the heat. So that's something. That's good.
I like
surprise there.
The Zanzoken Kamehameha that he was trying to pull off here.
Ineffective.
And then at the last second, when I saw this, I was like, why hasn't someone done this before? To Goku. In the amount of time it takes to charge up a Kamehameha, just appear behind him and go, and turn him.
Push him.
Yeah.
Whoop. The old switcheroo. Yeah, man. He does that, turns him around, and then, I don't know, does Goku retreat underground? Does he get punched underground? I don't remember what happened.
We're in that hotel from The Last of Us.
Yeah. And
there's some music.
There is some music that I was like, are you kidding me? So Goku is hiding somewhere here, and 4-star Dragon is walking around very menacingly, and it's like, oh, he's stalking him in the darkness. There's got to be some very tense track.
Yeah.
And so here's what they do. It's really great, really quite ingenious.
Lights. What?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why?
Are they allowed to use that?
You really want to hear that next to the Frieza feet sound effect.
Yeah.
It really works, I think.
Great soundscape you're doing here. Not even an echo. You know, we're in an enclosed, dank, dark space.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I fell asleep throughout this entire episode, so I don't remember a damn thing. I wake up, they're still just punching each other. Okay, I go back to sleep, and then
Goku doesn't.
They put that soundbite in there? No way.
It's just such a strange choice. And then he comes across Goku, who's at the end of the hall, charging Kamehameha. So he's like, oh, okay, well, that doesn't really do anything. And then blasts him. He's like, oh, it was a mirror. So Goku's was smart, actually. And then point blank, hand behind the back of his head. And he's like, all right, you got me. You should just kill me.
Yeah.
Like, is that really how these fights go?
Yeah.
And then
you let Pan go for a second, so I'm going to save your life. I'm going to spare your life.
Well, I don't kill women or children. That's my thing, and that makes me a good guy now.
So then why are we talking? Why aren't we just like, hey, we don't have to fight?
Yeah.
Again, this guy is from the Dragon Realm. He's been around long enough to have like a mindset, a code, a rule set that he plays by.
There's no code. It's just because he's the 4-star ball, and the executives are like, this would be so cool because it's Goku's memento ball number. Though we gotta make him respectable. There's no theme around
I like how you
besides that.
Doug, I like how you think that there's some cabal of execs working on Dragon Ball GT. Giving
I imagine like a round
thought.
table.
Yeah, Sele sitting around discussing how to
all
craft GT according to the Apocrypha. There's two people.
Yeah.
Two writers.
Them two staring down each other like, this would be hilarious.
Two writers and one person
write that down.
doing series composition, not paying attention.
No.
It's so dumb. It could have been a good moment to like be like, oh well, I've been around you, Goku, for a long time.
Oh.
You've actually influenced me, and I want to just fight or something. But no, nothing, none of that.
I like that.
This is where you would a throwaway line would have been great.
Yeah.
Your grandfather's memento, huh? Or something like that, you know?
Yeah, just something. But now they can fight evenly because they don't owe each other favors or whatever. And that's going to go great until somebody else shows up to ruin the day.
Go great until...
Pesky San at it again. This guy, I swear.
Up to his old tricks that we all know.
Like, oh, I've got an ice beam that I can shoot from my eyes. Check it out, Goku.
Yeah, shoot out of just one of his eyeballs. Just one. There's this shot where it just comes out of one eyeball.
Yeah, that's good.
So, in this episode, which I feel like would be the only place to have brought it up, they don't discuss what wish he's from.
Yeah. Strange. I was thinking, well, we haven't done that, but we got another episode of them, so surely we'll get to that, right?
Maybe.
And no?
There's a lot more wishes than there are dragons, right?
Yes. And
okay.
In Young Gigi's AF, when he does this arc again, he pulls from the other wishes that were not used in GT.
Mm-hmm.
Hate to break it to you, Doug, but Gigi's miles
you
ahead
make
of
me
you.
happy. That's the happiest news I've ever heard.
So this dude is not up to good stuff. He's like, oh, I've got the balls. You know whose balls I took these from? And it's like, oh, what'd you do with Pan? And then she's just down there on the street looking like she got beat up.
Beat her up while she was passed out, or what?
Right? What happened there? What? No explanation.
Yeah, I was like,
her clothes are definitely like battered up, like she's been beaten up before.
Yeah.
Before it's just like a chop to the neck, and then you're restfully down on the ground. But this one,
right?
She looks like she's been torn up.
And 3-star Dragon apparently doesn't believe in honorable fights and just starts laying Goku out, just beating the snot out of him, and then starts freezing him. And I don't know about you guys, but I saw a Z movie too. Just do a Kaioken. Yeah, out of there in a jiffy.
I also thought when Goku is like, I don't need my hands to beat you, I'm like, oh, foot Kamehameha. Here we go. We're bringing it back.
Oh, bring it back.
Nah.
See, I felt like
the Cabal didn't know about it.
The Cabal didn't.
I figured this is just channeling his inner Vegito and just be like, no, I'll just use my legs, and then just, does that whole thing.
But then they get frozen too, so it's to no avail.
No legs, no Ozaru fist.
I thought they were going to do the whole Piccolo Daima thing where like he takes off one limb at a time.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you didn't take away my one arm or whatever.
My one foot. And then blasts off with a foot Kamehameha and kicks him.
These writers started at Raditz, so...
We keep ragging on this dragon as if like the other dragons haven't been doing the same thing. They're not doing a fair fight. They just want to live. It's just because we've been introduced to this red dragon or whatever.
Where are their Dragon Balls? Because all the other ones, we've seen them visibly on themselves. And these two, where are they hiding?
I'm afraid to ask.
Yeah, if you know, Randy.
Well,
where,
if
Dwight?
It's feet.
Seems like you already know where.
In my heart. So then Goku is frozen, and 3 just tells 4, like, okay, I did this. Now you got to step up and use your burst attack and kill it.
Yeah. And how would San Xing Long know that Si Xing Long had this, Doug, unless they were together in the Dragon Realm?
You can't keep getting away with it.
So then he starts beating up 4-star dragon. I don't know the Chinese names, and I'm not going to try because I'll make a fool of myself. Beats him up, and eventually just like tells him again, you got to use your burst attack. So then he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And has the most bored look on his face as he's charging this blast in his mouth. Like, what?
It is Big Brother energy to be like, take him out, little one or whatever. So
and then,
right,
guys, check it out. We flash back to earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
What?
That's when you know you're doing a good job. Is when you have to flash back to the same episode you're in.
Yeah. This episode, we flash back to Doga Kobo, God help us. We flash back to that episode. And now we're going to flash back to earlier in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
What was the flashback?
Him sparing Pawn.
Oh, yeah.
But then this was flashing back to them fighting fist to fist, I think.
Yeah. So he's charging his burst attack, which is just a fire move, and then he blasts him, and then Goku's out of the ice. What's the science on this? Why does fire do this to ice? Why did the ice go?
Why does fire melt ice, Randy?
Yeah, I don't understand. Randy? I need this lore explained to me.
Well, if you read Young Gigi's manga, you'll find out in the Dragon Realm.
Oh, Randy, I see what you're saying. Why does 6,000 degrees Celsius heat melt ice and not just like straight sublimate it? I don't know.
I'm asking this for my friend 3-star Dragon.
Yeah,
where this baffles him. He's like, "What? How did this happen?"
Okay.
You told him.
Yeah, he was very surprised. He was very surprised.
Blast him with your fire attack. That will absolutely do it.
See,
instead of just I don't know, push him.
They never fought each other. So how does he know?
He knows about his burst attack.
How does he know he has a weakness to fire? He's not Charizard. He's not Articuno. He doesn't know.
Dang.
Whatever, man. So now Goku is very cocky, and he's like, okay, I'm going to take on the 3-star dragon so we can get back to fighting, and I'll take you down in 10 seconds. No, 5 seconds.
Because we've only got 3 days.
I'm telling you. He says 3 days.
So there's one thing that I thought about over the course of these episodes, and I'm saving it till now, which is, how do you guys feel about Super Saiyan 4 in this arc? Because I feel like it's strange to have all these dragons, and like each time we're having Goku struggle against them using this form, which is kind of like, oh, it's going to be the big thing. We don't do another one in GT after this, but like each time he's fighting them, he's having difficulty until something happens and he just wins. And I feel like, I don't know, we introduced this whole thing of like the Earth is in danger and under this pressure of this evil key, and like things are like locked out. You can't go and like get anybody's help. What if it diminished his power? And like, okay, well now I can't transform any further, and maybe as they're taking dragons out, like, okay, cool, this influence on the Earth has been lessened. Oh, I now have access to this ability or like this level of power again. So that way it can be a struggle against these dragons without being like, well, they're all roughly around the same strength and I'm not prepared, for whatever.
There's always been extenuating circumstances. So when they fought Wu Xing Long, the slime guy, Doug.
Yeah.
He shot a 10 times Kamehameha into him. He bounced that back and that hit him. He hit himself with it, right? And then that like messed him up when he fought Baby too. He got hit with something stronger than a 10 times. So that kind of that equivalent of attack or stronger will mess him up in Super Saiyan 4. So that's the Wu Xing Long. He got hit by his own good. All right. What do you know? And then when he was fighting Yi Xing Long, he was holding back because of Pawn.
Mm-hmm.
So really, this is the first dragon that he's been using Super Saiyan 4 all out against.
Yeah. I don't like that, Chief. It's not. It's not
Actually,
really.
GT's bad. Okay, all right.
It doesn't portray it well enough. I go with Randy where it should be. It would have been so much cooler if it's something he unlocked. He wasn't able to unlock until certain requirements were met per dragon or whatever. Whether it's like, I don't know, the sun is not at the highest peak, so I can't transform right now, like a time limit or something. Other than just like it diminishes the strength of Super Saiyan 4 if he can just do it whenever, but chooses not to, or when he does, it's not any stronger than Super Saiyan regular. Why doesn't he just go try Super Saiyan and then 2 or 3 and then go to 4?
I think a problem here is that in the Vegeta episode, they introduced the Chekhov's gun of surpassing Super Saiyan 4, which we will never do. So Chekhov's gun is a thing where in a story, if you introduce a gun, you have to use it. And they introduced the idea of surpassing Super Saiyan 4, and they even hint at Super Saiyan 5, right?
Yeah.
But we're never going to see that stuff used. So,
And why do that? At this point, you have to know in production that, like, look, you've only got 8 episodes left. Like, the show is ending.
Yeah.
They didn't know it was going to be like that. They were just looking at a way to say, I'll become Super Saiyan 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever. Like, it's meant to be like ridiculous, like, I'll get whatever. But then people took it, they see that 5 and like, oh yeah. I want to say that line kind of like burns them by, not burned, but there's always more forms of fan art can think of. But I think it would have started at 3. Once Super Saiyan 3 was introduced, that's when the number scheme could go to infinite. Because you not only did you name 3, you named 1 and 2 at that exact moment too.
Mm-hmm. I think the other thing is that Super Saiyan 4 looks so damn cool.
Yep.
And using it all these times for all these dragon things, it feels like it's not the be all end all. Not that it had to be, because if this would have gone on, would have gotten more transformations. But just, I don't know. It seems like it's ineffective now all of the time. Where it's like, is there anything special about this? I guess now it can withstand heat.
Goku and Pan had to sync up, and then they do like a it's morphin time type deal where like Pan's tears are activated, so now Goku can like morph in time into.
I can only transform when my granddaughter is sad.
Something that he can't just activate by will. It has to something has to be met.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I don't know. I think that Super Saiyan 4, so far, this arc has been a waste, and it's a bummer because I think it looks cool. And
I like that we get to see it a lot because it does look so cool. But yeah,
that's about where the end of my notes are. So if you have more,
what are we ready?
Whoa, ready?
Who's That Dragon?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Who's That Dragon, the hottest segment on We Got a Podcast at the moment. We love
6,000 degrees Celsius.
I'm burning myself here. We're talking about the new dragons, and we've got 3 of them for you here today. First of all, we've got Yi Xing Long, all right? That's Qixinglong, also known as Yi Shenron. Ron, I guess. Not. What's up, Ron? Or the 7-star dragon. The dub calls him Naturon Shenron.
Naturon.
If I'm pronouncing this wrong, I don't care. First of all, and I don't know because
who cares? No one cares.
I'm not watching the dub.
The people who made it don't care.
In Victory Mission, after being Doug, I'm going to say a lot of names here. Just kind of nod.
I'm with you, buddy.
So after being exorcised from Nico, he absorbs Forte to become Super Yi Xing Long.
I was not ready.
Like with Pan. And he faces off against Note, but is defeated by her Kamehameha.
Her?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the female protagonist.
See,
HER. I thought it was another name, like her.
In Victory Mission, girls can become Super Saiyan. So, just so you know.
Finally.
Progress.
All right, our second dragon we're talking about here today, of course, is Yi Xing Long, or Su Shenron, or 4-star dragon, also known as Nuova Shenron.
Oh, that's why they do it Nova.
Yeah. Do they call him Nova?
Yeah.
Why do they spell it Nuova? Probably same reason they spell Frieza. Am I right?
I got that.
It's all about trademarks. They want to register this name, so you can't use it.
Or when you Google it, it doesn't just give you an actual Nova It
But
gives you the actual character.
they didn't understand how Google was going to get smarter and would have just sent you to the right place anyway. So anyways,
Right.
Victory Mission, he shows up. He actually has a lot to do in Victory Mission. After being exorcised from Berserk, he wants to go toe-to-toe with Kagyu. Doug, you following me?
Sure.
Super Saiyan 4
different anime.
Broly strikes, and Kagyu saves Yi Xing Long's life. In return, Yi Xing Long hands over the 4-star Dragon Ball to Kagyu, but is ultimately defeated by Broly. Kagyu uses the 4-star ball to summon a Yi Xing Long card to help take down Genome once and for all. But however, the
Genova
manga
cells?
never finishes. So
Wow.
we don't know what happens.
Left on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger. That
Unfortunately.
sucks.
Someday, dude, because, Super the manga just finished up the movie. So
true.
maybe he's going to tie it back into Victory Mission. Come on.
Right there. He's behind Goku
If we're never getting the Super anime to come back and Daima is going to run amok, dude, go
run amok.
do what you want with the manga, dude. Let's go back to Victory Mission. Tie it all back in together. San Xinglong is our third and final dragon we'll be talking about today, also known as San Shenron, or the 3-star dragon. In the dub, he is Shenron?
If that's how they pronounce it too. That
Ease?
confused.
I don't know.
Oh, like Ice Shenron.
So they pronounce they do, because I was doing a bit, assuming they actually call him Ice Shenron.
I think they call him Ice Shenron.
They call him
Frieza.
Eyes?
No, like Ice. They just
Oh, they just say Ice. Okay, all right.
I think.
Weird. But yeah, would have been nice to like tie him into Frieza here in GT as well. I mean, if you're going for the whole cold thing.
Yeah.
In Victory Mission, after being exorcised from Salaga, as in like the Salagazoo, the ba-da-da-ba, the bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, he
That
beats
same
up
one.
Cabra, as in Abracadabra.
Kadabra.
He is defeated by Super Saiyan 4 Broly. So,
Dang, Super Saiyan 4 Broly's the main protagonist of
main
the
antagonist.
series. I'm taking it.
Super Saiyan 4 Broly and Genome and
The dragons are the good guys.
Liu Xinglong. But and that is it for our penultimate, I think, episode of. Yes.
I've learned so much in so little.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You've got access to these GT Perfect files. Do they say what wish that San Xinglong is from?
We've got another episode at least here with San.
Okay.
So I think we'll let him
Alright.
speak
Keep
for
your pants
himself
on, Randy.
before we intervene.
Don't
and
bust
have,
that nut just yet. We'll be right back with
about
these
it.
messages.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the next episode of Who's That
Dragon? Well, that sounds great. Guess what? That's the end of us talking about GT for these episodes. But we're going to be doing more. Obviously, next time we're going to be coming.
I'm coming.
One of us.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
I did both at the same time. The next GT retrospective will cover episodes 57 through 60. So do your homework. 4 more episodes. And but this isn't the end. Wow, I can't do words. This isn't the end of this episode. We still got
There it
trivia
is.
and hearing what you guys had to say about these chunk of episodes. So stick around after the break. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here to talk more about Dragon Ball GT stuff, specifically what you guys had to say about this chunk of episodes. As always, Ken throws out a very nice post out on those there socials asking, what were your thoughts on episodes 52 to 56? So we're going to start here with Cage, who says, this was an interesting batch. The first 3 episodes ranged from mediocre to garbage. Then we get 55, which is the most baffling episode so far. I can't even comprehend why it was made. Then 56 was one of my favorites in the series so far. Goku's characterization was at its best. Also, quick shout out to the Dragon Brothers. They might be the most interesting villains in GT, which isn't saying very much, but I do like them a fair deal. So 55, which is baffling, is the Vegeta recap one, which
Really?
not so great, but I really liked Bulma and Vegeta interacting. But
Yeah.
I can understand where you're coming from there. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, these things
felt like
exist because nobody's working on
Production falls
GT
apart.
anymore. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
if they had to do a clip show, this is a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're setting things up for a character.
Right. Who hasn't really done anything at all in this series because he was possessed and then he wanted to go fight Goku at a tournament and that didn't work and then he's just done nothing.
Yeah.
So
Possessed by a character that turned him into nothing looking like Vegeta, so we disassociate.
it's true.
We've got this here from Spring, who says, I get the reasons behind it with using the Dragon Balls so much, something bad can happen, but it's sliding into awfulness, sadly, and wary emoji.
No.
Oh,
I feel that, though.
I think it's about to take an upturn, because we are really heading...
Yeah.
The whole final part of GT takes place in New York City, right? We are in the final area. We're not going anywhere else.
yeah. This is it.
Oh, this is the same place?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, okay. Yeah.
So
This one comes from...
I'm when we hit that point, and I have the final 2 DVDs of GT. When we hit that point, I'm gonna switch from Tyson's Plex that I've been watching these on, and I'm watching my single GT discs
on a CRT
on the CRT for the last bit of it.
if he's got the same files that I'm using, you could just switch it over to the subtitles from the DVDs because those are there.
But I want to watch my disc. I want the experience of clicking into the menu. I'm gonna go full nostalgia.
Dude, isn't it a good thing?
Yeah.
That they had Bukujutsu when the mole started firing beams from the ground. that was a good.
Do I need to issue my apology to Steve Simmons right now?
I think you do,
because I was under the assumption that when I was watching these on Tyson's Plex, that I was watching something that was direct from the fingies of Steve Simmons. But in fact, I was watching an altered version of the Steve Simmons subtitle track. So while Steve Simmons might have used Bukujutsu, my complaint with the Bukujutsu was really not directly aimed at him, and it was aimed at a different product. So Steve Simmons,
You're
handshake.
sorry.
I'm doing a handshake. So
Yeah, I mean,
shake my hand, Steve.
when they use Bukujutsu the first time with Tenshinhan, like, oh, it's Tenshinhan flying, then that makes sense. Like, it's a technique he's using, but yeah, to overly use it was a no-go.
Fair.
Doug?
Anywho, Jason Rufy says, a brilliant concept.
Nope, you're on the wrong tweet.
Yeah.
I'll read this one. So Jason says, I was fully prepared to drag the 7-star dragon through the mud for fumbling a guaranteed win, but then I realized absorbing Pan must have lowered his IQ. She's the only character dumb enough to fall for a trick like that in a fight, so it makes sense. You're welcome, GT staff.
You saved us. Thank you, Jason. It makes sense. But I don't like it because we're hurting Pan's feelings here.
Yeah.
And I feel like we shouldn't do that.
Remember, she's 9. She's 10.
She needs to be humbled.
Yeah, these kids,
I'm here
we
for
need to
it.
humble these kids, man. These 10-year-olds thinking they own the world.
So before we jump into trivia, I want to bring up that on Spotify, if you check us out there, we do Q&As and polls with each episode. Our poll from our last one, from episodes 45 to 51, was, which was your favorite dragon of these episodes? 2-star / Haze, 5-star / Rage, or 6-star / Oceanus? And we had a 3-way tie. So there's no definitive winner here.
They're all great. They're all winners.
They're all great. You guys, we all love them. And I had asked you, the listeners, who would you have liked to see join Goku and Pan on this adventure? And we had some good ones. We had Saban say, Goten. Yeah,
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah. This
like
Goten, yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And Jacob Sawyer says, I would have loved Mr. Satan coming along. He is great in GT, and Pan adventuring with her grandpas seems fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be fun.
We get a good bit of that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they interact, but like, Satan should have come with him. I think that would have been good. And now we come to our final part. Everybody's favorite, especially Doug's, trivia.
Fuck me.
I always love seeing it. Doug, it seems like you're like, what is happening? And
I'm
then
always
I
surprised every time.
I say the word trivia, and you're like, what? I hate this.
Why use a fun word for such a miserable thing?
So, again, we've got our trivia from friend of the show, Trivia Deity, Zenpai. And if this is somehow the first episode you're ever listening to, here's how trivia works. If you've never heard what a trivia game is like.
Give him the quick rundown.
Oh, they don't know what our trivia game is like, Randy.
Give him the condensed version.
Ours is strange. You guys are going to answer a question. If you get it right, you get a point. If you're stumped, Zenpai gets 2 points because he stumped both of you. But if his question involves something we talked about in the episode, he loses a point. So,
and we can arbitrarily give or remove points at will.
On any whim.
Also, we give out attaboys and
gold star.
Yeah.
So here we go. We've got trivia for these episodes. Courtesy of Zenpai. Question 1. In episode 52, during the earthquake in the city, a globe falls from the top of a building. What is written on that globe?
Oh, were we both combined, right?
Yeah, we got him.
So he says it's Tamagotchi. Let's all remember this is 1997. So I would assume it's supposed to be Tamagotchi.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tamagotchi.
We got him.
We got him.
We got him.
Dang,
Question
from both angles, we got him on that one.
Whoa.
I mentioned the globe. You mentioned the Tamagotchi.
We caught him in 4K, guys. It's all right. Question 2. During the very next shot, however, when the globe crashes onto the street, it says something completely different. What does it say when it crashes into the street?
Oh, no.
Pima.
We did not cover this. Pima. Interesting. Why that?
Because it was in my notes. I don't know where it came from.
He just know a week ago you saw Pima somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere.
You got a shot in the dark? I will say, it doesn't say Pima.
I want to say Toei.
It says Ruzo. R-U-Z-O. Don't know, but that's what it says.
Dang.
Which means Tamagotchi in Russian. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
2 points to Zenpai for that one.
And
so he stumped you both.
Yeah, forget it. Keep going.
In the next episode, in the same episode, Goku saves a school bus. Oh, what is written on the side?
Oh, Himawari?
Himawari, meaning sunflower. Maybe it's from the same orphanage that once housed Kiryu Kazuma.
Kiryu there, yeah.
Wow. So that's really should be -2 because we also talked about Yakuza.
-3 because we all just...
Adam, put him there.
-3 Zenpai. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to do -2. I don't want to get too crazy.
No. I'm going to take -5% from my previous point to subtract 0.5 from this current one.
No. You can't take... No.
I'm trying to figure the math out on that, but all right. Next question. When the 7-star dragon first fires a Kamehameha, it lands on a building with a very peculiar shape, which is clearly inspired by a real-life building. What is that building? Doug, you brought it up.
Oh, no. I was confused then. This is the Toei building then.
It's not a Toei building, but... You guys got a different guess?
The Pima building.
The Pima building!
What's associated with Toei? Bandai?
So you're close, but not right. The Fuji TV building in Odaiba, which besides being the location of the broadcasting station that originally aired Dragon Ball GT, is also famous for being the place of the final showdown of the Vam Demon arc in Digimon Adventure. See, I know him as Myodismon.
Vandemon.
I mentioned Digimon. I mentioned exactly what he's talking about.
I say we call that one a draw.
Ooh, you know what's very nice is in the doc here, he's got a photo from Digimon Adventure of them in front of the Fuji TV building.
Yeah,
and then he's also included a photo of himself standing in front of the same building on a trip to Japan.
No way.
Very excellent, Zenpai. Love it. And, one last one. You guys, get your hands on your buzzers ready. What is the name of the 4-star dragon's finishing move?
Well, we talked about it. Burst attack. Yeah.
Burst attack. You got it.
That one feels... I feel wrong taking a point away from Zenpai because that was just like, what's the name of an attack? So we'll let him. We'll just...
Exactly.
Yeah.
We thank you so much, Zenpai, for putting all of this time and work into the trivia. And it's great little brain teasers. And we can't wait for more for what you've got.
I can wait.
Of course you could. All right. So thanks for listening. This has been a great episode. We love interacting with you and keeping you in the conversation, talking about our favorite franchise in the world. Posted us on our socials at We Got a Pod, and you can email us at wegotapod@gmail.com.
Thank you to Rifti Beats for letting us use his track, Kakarot Theme Hip Hop Trap Remix. You can find that track and other great music by Rifti on his SoundCloud. Ken, where can the good people find you?
at Detective X, though I'm thinking about just trashing my Twitter. I'm just
really
2024, new year, new me. No more social media, baby.
Whoa!
But probably
That's the way.
at Detective X on Twitter.
Right.
Randy, what about you?
Oh, me. You can catch me at Saber_Breaker in places.
Likewise, yeah, places for me too. At Jabaz Doug.
So we have 2 episodes of our GT in review left. Okay, sorry. GT in retrospective.
There you
Of
go.
Auspiciosity. And it's auspicious that I'm going to ask you if you guys, not you two, you guys, if you have ideas for episodes that you would like us to talk about, because it's coming up, like in a month, right? We're going to be done with GT. We have ideas, but if there's some burning thing you want us to talk about, let's get it in now, because honestly, guys, once Daima starts, that's probably what the show is going to become.
Yeah, I can't wait.
We need to know the release schedule, because it could be, if that's like a weekly show, then every 2 weeks. Hey, guess what? We're talking about the last 2 episodes of Daima. And so we got a Daima is what the show's going to turn into. So if there's something you want us to talk about, get it in now, because this timetable is closing, right? Fall 2024 is going to be here before you know it. It's going to be Christmas again before you know it.
God.
Thanks
right
as
around
always.
the corner.
Another sweater.
Yeah, this time we'll have Ultra Instigo on it for when they become Vegito again. Nice. Thanks as always for listening. Remember, we're on Blue Sky, so if we're going to be New Year, New Us, get rid of Twitter, catch us on Blue Sky. We'll be there. As always, like, subscribe, review, tell your friends. That is honestly the best way to get a show kind of on the map, right? You know, tell your friends about it on the well, hopefully you're not on like the playground or anything, but tell your friends about it.
Make me feel awful.
When you're out, you know, clubbing at the bar, you know.
Yeah.
So, girl, how you living? You heard we got a podcast? Are you a mom?
Yeah,
because I got a podcast for you.
Yeah. So let them know about it, and let your moms know about it next time you're talking to them. So, and on that note, we will catch you matinator.
Bye.
Ta-ta.